Hey everyone. Sorry to be a disembodied voice. I wanted to kind of go through this first project with you just to answer like 5 emails at once that I've received, and also maybe the emails that haven't yet been sent if you have questions. Um, so I'm just going to unpack it a little bit more and also give you some additional options verbally before I'll send my I created a Google Sheet with categories. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with uh, creating an infographic right now, then that's fine. We can dial it back, and I'm just going to present you with another option. So let's just kind of go there, and also keep in mind too that this is a document that will just grow throughout the semester. I think it's not a one and done sort of situation, but yeah. Okay. So with that said, I highlighted. I have the primary areas that you really need to focus, and the hope what the hope is that you'll really zero in on some concrete examples of each of these things. So let's look at part one, the scavenger hunt. There are 6 things that you are asked to sort of tease out, and which, by the way, I am going to post my conference link today as soon as I finish this video, and post the additional the Google Sheets for the additional option for this project. I will also post my Google Calendar appointment links. So that if folks want to meet with me before turning in the next draft of this, they can, or they can wait until they've done that. So it's really, I just want to, either before or after, whatever you need. So, okay, with that said, the first is really about just, what is the field of study? What is the type of work you're pursuing? Just name it, just very concretely. Number 2, locate the major scholarly journals and or an example of a couple professional publications in your field. Sort of go-to journals or magazines, trade journals, newsletters, etc. And who reads them? Why are they useful? If you could just sort of take a few very brief notes, but pointed notes. What's significant about them, and why are they sort of go-to professional publications in your field, if you know of any. Number 3, genres of writing. What genres of writing does your academic major emphasize? What genres do professionals in your field use? Identify 4 genres. I should have highlighted that you want a mix of academic and professional. So analyze them looking at the following questions. I think these are pretty straightforward. And, where do you find the genres used? Who writes them? Who reads them? How do they help the work get done? How are they shared? What are the writer's goals when they write in these genres? What are readers looking for? What's at stake if the writing is effective or ineffective? So number 4, so that's pretty clear. Bethany did not attach a sort of a length requirement or a number of sources per se. She did say four different types of 4 genres of writing that your field or academic major emphasizes, or uses. That's very specific. But in terms of answering all these questions, this is sort of a preliminary sort of lit review, I guess, of the types of writing that exist in your field, in your area of study, in your potential future profession, organizations, number 4, that you might want to join, and scholarships that exist that you might apply for or not, or internships and experiences to pursue in your field of study and professions. And number 5, how does the general public know about research and work in your field? In other words, how does your field of study and enter public discourse, and how is that knowledge delivered for mass consumption? So specifically for people who are not specializing in your area of study. So, and then 6, what writing skills matter for your work, for work in your field, academic, professional, or both. Be as specific as you can. And if you could just sort of tease out a few details there, just, and again, I realize there's no length requirement stated in any of these questions. So if you could just sort of tease out a few sentences, that would be, sufficient at this point. We'll add to this document is not done. We're going to keep, it will grow throughout the semester, is what I'm saying. So I am also, I wasn't necessarily bothered by the lack of a length requirement per se, but because it's a living, breathing document that will be a lot bigger in May than it will be at the end of this month, or by tomorrow. So okay, and then present your findings. This is part 2, if you will. And I know some people have expressed uncertainty about the use of an infographic at this stage of the game, and that's totally fine. If it feels logical to create an infographic now, then then I would say this, stay on course. But if it feels overwhelming to you, then infographics are about the synthesis and presentation of data and knowledge. We all get that. And so and certainly most of the examples that I posted in the announcements, or last week, and also most of the infographics that you encounter online per se every day are pretty flashy, mostly very flashy, sophisticated, well-designed infographics. And if that's not your wheelhouse, then if you're not comfortable, generating that kind of text right now, you shouldn't worry about that. It doesn't have to be a professionally constructed infographic for it to really count and to be really effective, is what I'm saying to you. So I am not a designer. I love infographics and I love playing with them, and because I am excited about the ways in which infographics create visual presentations and representations of knowledge that I'm trying to communicate. So all that said, infographics are also a way of organizing. They can be used to informally organize our thoughts. So if when we use them in that way, they're really graphic organizers, or they're mind maps. So if you would prefer going the more informal route, that's fine. I just need to see that you have made an attempt to visually organize your thoughts in and around these sources that you've looked at, and categorize those sources, to really understand, okay, this is the writing that's done in my field. This is what and these are the traditional genres of writing and styles of writing. And here are some non-traditional ways of analyzing or presenting information in my profession or field, and to really understand why those categories exist. So, for example, and I'll say more on Wednesday in class, but let me pop over to, I'm leaving Microsoft Word right now, just to kind of give you an example. So I've got these two sheets I'll upload to the course website, to As You Learn, and if you want, you can download them. But and they're just different. They're just sheets. That's all they are. And the information is laid out in two different ways. So profession or field named at the top, and then under that field or possible profession, you've got, just 2 or 3 publications that are specific to your field or major or profession, genres that dominate that profession or field, organizations. What are the sort of top 2 or 3 or 4 organizations? If you don't know of any, then this is a good opportunity to find out. 5, just how does the general public learn about information in your field and writing skills that matter. So when you enter information into these different cells and under 1, 2, 3 through 6, then go back to that Word document and look at the questions that have been posed originally, and just to kind of tease out a little information. If it's sparse, don't worry about it. Just enter what you can, and we will come back to it later in the semester. So this is just one way of laying it out, of organizing your thoughts and information. And here's another. So I just took the same fields and laid them out vertically. So, and if you want, if it would be helpful to you, like one thing that we're going to do this week is watch just not the full film, but I want to show you just a little bit of about Attica, the new documentary about the Attica prison riot from 1971, and I can use that topic, the topic of prison riots and the Attica prison, and fill in these fields, just to kind of give you a live example. So if y'all want that, let me know via email, and I will provide. Okay, I feel like I've talked your ear off, but I will upload this to Google or to As You Learn in about 2 minutes, and I'll see y'all on Wednesday.